Okay, y'all, so I have been super excited for this makeup look because you guys know I love Disney, and ever since I did Elsa last year, I was looking forward to another princess this year, and so Snow White it is. So I started off with my base already done. All my products, as always, are going to be listed down below, so check there if you're curious about anything. But for now, I am just contouring with my Benefit Hoola bronzer in all the normal places I like to contour. You can have your liberty with this as always. The eyes for this one are really simple, so I'm starting off with Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee eyeshadow and just popping this all over my crease and like slightly on my outer portion, as you can see here, just to lay down a really good base. Next, to add some definition, I'm going in with a reddish brown shade. This one is from ColourPop, and I do not know what shade it is because I depotted it, so the bottom has a magnet on it, so my apologies there. But this just adds some definition to the eye look. And then next, we are going to add the tiniest line of eyeliner that you've ever seen to the upper lid. Just literally no fun, no wing, no nothing, just tiny little line of liner. We're also going to go ahead and pop on a coat of mascara of your choosing. Next, to give ourselves that very animated doll-eyed effect, we are going to line our waterline with a white liner. And then for just a fun pop of color, I did have this blue eyeliner as well, so I decided to bring this as close to my lash line as I possibly could, and I just did a very, very thin line of this as well. As always, I'm going to pop on a pair of lashes. I do recommend a pair that's like relatively fluffy and kind of wispy, just to kind of keep that doll-eyed effect, but of course, wear anything that you are comfortable with wearing, or nothing if you choose not to. And then back to the face, we are going to pop on a pretty pink blush. I do recommend to go probably a little heavier handed on the blush than you normally would, just to again give you that princess-like glow. And then of course we got to do the lips, because the lips are probably the most important part of this look. So I am going to completely fill my lips in with a red lip liner, and then I'm going to go over top of it with a red liquid lipstick just to lock everything in place. And then there you have it, you guys. This is our very happy and healthy, just strolling along in the woods with 7 little men, Snow White. But that's not all we're here for, so we're going to go ahead and get right into making her ill. So I am going to take a gray eyeshadow. This one happens to be Concrete Jungle from Makeup Geek, and I am going to start hollowing out my cheeks. So to do this, as you can see, I'm making a little like fish face or kissy face, whatever you want to call it, and I am following that natural line of my cheekbone all the way down into where my cheeks naturally sink in when I do that. And just on a fluffy eyeshadow brush, I'm lightly kind of building this up in this area. Throughout this whole process, you're going to see me go back and forth with tinier brushes, bigger fluffy brushes, and even at that, I'm going to pop around to different portions of my face. I do it this way because I like to make sure I keep all of my face cohesive. You do it in whatever order you're comfortable with. For example, I am now popping up and kind of like sinking in the sides of my temples. Think kind of when you do a skull, you want to sink in the temple area as well as that like lower jaw line area that we've already started working on. And so I'm going in with just a fluffy brush and that same gray eyeshadow and just kind of sinking in my temples here. And then I'm going to go right back in to messing with my cheeks and my jaw. And so here I'm taking a highlighter brush, which I had to make sure I cleaned very well so I didn't play myself in the future. And I'm just using a little bit of black eyeshadow. This is Corrupt from Makeup Geek. I'm laying a little of the black down and then going back in with that big fluffy brush just to kind of, again, really blend it out. I don't want to go in with a lot of black to start because I don't want to play myself in the beginning. But again, do what you're comfortable with. If you can go in with straight black, girl, do it. More power to you. Now I'm jumping up to my eyes for a minute because of course we've got to make our eyes look sunken in, because I'm sure if someone poisoned you, your eyes would probably look sunk in. I don't know. I hope to never know, but you know what it is. So I'm going to do this in the lower portion of my eye socket, and then I am also going to do this up on my lid in my crease. You can have as much fun with this as you want to. Do as much or as little. It just kind of depends on the look you are going for. Once I'm kind of satisfied with the eyes, again, I'm going right back onto those cheeks, deciding to kind of build them up a little bit more. Here I'm adding more black than gray. And over time, I will actually make sure that I do completely black or gray out, whatever you want to call it, from the line I'm making here all the way down to my jawline. I don't want a lot of skin showing in that area in order to make it look as sunken in as possible. But it takes a while for me to get there because I'm primarily focusing on the line itself. This is a better shot where you can see what I'm talking about, where that whole area is kind of darkened in from the cheek down to my jaw. What I'm doing right here is I'm dragging these colors down onto my neck and my chest because that area is exposed. If you only did it on your face, it's going to look very fake and very, very sad. So I am just kind of like making my skeleton, my spine, and my collarbone stick out, if you will, as if I was kind of like decaying and sinking in. But either way, now I'm jumping into my Mehron Bruise palette. I'm using my red shade, and on a little like paintbrush, I'm going to kind of put some red along my eyes, and I'll smudge it out with my fingers. This is just kind of creating signs of distress in my mind, so I hope that makes sense. In that same little palette, I'm taking the green and yellow shades on a stippling sponge. I'm going to kind of pat it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to start patting this all over my face, my neck, and my chest. Again, do not neglect the neck and the chest if it's going to be showing in your costume. But this is going to kind of give us that sickly look on the skin, because I assume the skin is not going to have its nice glowy look that a normal Disney princess actually has. Next, I'm going in with that red shade again on the stippling sponge, and I'm just going to add this in the same spaces that I did the yellow and green. This is just to create a more like kind of bruising looking effect. I then took some black and white face paint and mixed it together to create a light gray shade. And again, stippling sponge, going back in and adding this color. The more depth and dimension you put into this with different shades of bruising and sickliness kind of a thing is going to make the skin look better. As you can see, my skin is now actually starting to look pretty lifeless, which is the look that I'm going for here. I then am going to use like a plain makeup wedge, or you can use a regular makeup sponge, but I'm just going to kind of pat this stuff out a little bit because I don't want it to look like something sitting on top of my skin. I want it to legit look like my skin has all these colors on it. So after I do that, I went to go pop in my contacts, and I had never used these kind before, and you guys, I couldn't see. So excuse me while I just have one in for the time being, but I'm going to start using some Scab Blood. If you guys have been around for a while, you guys know my love of Scab Blood. It is my favorite type of fake blood to use. And I'm going to put this all in my nostril holes, kind of falling out, you know, because I can and because I like to use it. So I will say that I've never put it up in my nose before, and it does tickle as it dries. Okay, so do be prepared for that. But I really do think it looks super, super cool. And then after I do this, I am just going to smear my lipstick a little bit because I figure it's not going to look as pretty as it did when I started. And then there is the completed sickly Snow White. Yeah, this is why we don't take food from people, or why we don't eat healthy. You can really use whatever you want here to get out of that. I don't know. I love the way it looks, you guys. It was so much fun to do. I think the contacts really do make it, so I will have those linked down below for you, along with all my other costume pieces, which, by the way, you guys, this costume was $23 on Amazon. Oh yeah, it was a steal. But I really hope that you guys like this one. Look at her. She's a gorgeous little pretty princess. I mean, she's really feeling herself. We love to see it. So if you did enjoy it, definitely give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!